This room expects you to be familiar with basic Linux command line functionalities like general system navigation and network fundamentals, ports, protocols and traffic data. The room aims to encourage you to start working with Snort to analyze live and captured traffic. Before joining this room, we suggest completing the Network Fundamentals module. If you have general knowledge of network basics and Linux fundamentals, you will be ready to begin. If you feel you need assistance in the Linux command line, you can always refer to our Linux fundamentals rooms. Here 123, Snort is an open source, rule-based network intrusion detection and prevention system, NIDS/NIPS. It was developed and still maintained by Martin Roche, open source contributors, and the Cisco TLOS team. The official description: Snort is the foremost open source intrusion prevention system, IPS, in the world. Snort IPS uses a series of rules that help define malicious network activity and uses those rules to find packets that match against them and generate alerts for users. Interactive material and exercise setup. Deploy the machine attached to this task. It will be visible in the split screen view once it is ready. If you don't see a virtual machine load, click the Show Split View button. Once the machine had fully started, you will see a folder named Task Exercises on the desktop. Each exercise has an individual folder and files. Use them accordingly to the questions. Everything you need is located under the Task Exercises folder. There are two subfolders available: Config Sample, Sample Configuration and Rule Files. These files are provided to show what the configuration files look like. Installed Snort instance doesn't use them, so feel free to practice and modify them. Snort's original base files are located under /etc/snort folder. Exercise files: there are separate folders for each task. Each folder contains bcap, log and rule files ready to play with. Traffic generator. The machine is offline, but there is a script, traffic generator.sh, for you to generate traffic to your Snort interface. You will use this script to trigger traffic to the Snort interface. Once you run the script, it will ask you to choose the exercise type and then automatically open another terminal to show you the output of the selected action. Note that each traffic is designed for a specific exercise. Make sure you start the Snort instance and wait until to end of the script execution. Don't stop the traffic flood unless you choose the wrong exercise. Run the traffic generator.sh file by executing it as sudo. Before diving into Snort and analyzing traffic, let's have a brief overview of what an intrusion detection system, IDs, and intrusion prevention system, IPS, is. It is possible to configure your network infrastructure and use both of them, but before starting to use any of them, let's learn the differences. Intrusion Detection System, IDs. IDs is a passive monitoring solution for detecting possible malicious activities / patterns, abnormal incidents, and policy violations. It is responsible for generating alerts for each suspicious event. There are two main types of IDs systems: Network Intrusion Detection System, NIDS. NIDS monitors the traffic flow from various areas of the network. The aim is to investigate the traffic on the entire subnet. If a signature is identified, an alert is created. Host-based Intrusion Detection System, HIDS. HIDS monitors the traffic flow from a single endpoint device. The aim is to investigate the traffic on a particular device. If a signature is identified, an alert is created. Intrusion Prevention System, IPS. IPS is an active protecting solution for preventing possible malicious activities / patterns, abnormal incidents, and policy violations. It is responsible for stopping / preventing / terminating the suspicious event as soon as the detection is performed. There are four main types of IPS systems: Network Intrusion Prevention System, NIPS. NIPS monitors the traffic flow from various areas of the network. The aim is to protect the traffic on the entire subnet. If a signature is identified, the connection is terminated. Behavior-based Intrusion Prevention System, Network Behavior Analysis, NBA. Behavior-based systems monitor the traffic flow from various areas of the network. The aim is to protect the traffic on the entire subnet. If a signature is identified, the connection is terminated. Network Behavior Analysis System works similar to NIPS. The difference between NIPS and behavior-based is, behavior-based systems require a training period, also known as baselining, to learn the normal traffic and differentiate the malicious traffic and threats. This model provides more efficient results against new threats. The system is trained to know the normal to detect abnormal. The training period is crucial to avoid any false positives. In case of any security breach during the training period, the results will be highly problematic. Another critical point is to ensure that the system is well trained to recognize benign activities. Wireless Intrusion Prevention System, WIPS. WIPS monitors the traffic flow from a wireless network. The aim is to protect the wireless traffic and stop possible attacks launched from there. If a signature is identified, the connection is terminated. Host-based Intrusion Prevention System, HIPS. HIPS actively protects the traffic flow from a single endpoint device. The aim is to investigate the traffic on a particular device. If a signature is identified, the connection is terminated. HIPS working mechanism is similar to HIDS. The difference between them is that while HIDS creates alerts for threats, HIPS stops the threats by terminating the connection. Detection / prevention techniques. There are three main detection and prevention techniques used in IDs and IPS solutions. This technique relies on rules that identify the specific patterns of the known malicious behavior. This model helps detect known threats. This technique identifies new threats with new patterns that pass through signatures. The model compares the known / normal with unknown / abnormal behaviors. This model helps detect previously unknown or new threats. This technique compares detected activities with system configuration and security policies. This model helps detect policy violations. Summary Few. That was a long ride and lots of information. Let's summarize the overall functions of the IDs and IPS in a nutshell. IDs can identify threats but require user assistance to stop them. IPS can identify and block the threats with less user assistance at the detection time. Now let's talk about Snort. Here is the rest of the official description of the Snort. Snort can be deployed in line to stop these packets, as well. Snort has three primary uses: as a packet sniffer like dump, as a packet logger, which is useful for network traffic debugging, or it can be used as a full-blown network intrusion prevention system. Snort can be downloaded and configured for personal and business use alike. Snort is an open-source, rule-based network intrusion detection and prevention system, NIDS/NIPS. It was developed and still maintained by Martin Roche, open-source contributors, and the Cisco Talos team. Capabilities of Snort: live traffic analysis, attack and probe detection, packet logging, protocol analysis, real-time alerting modules and plugins, preprocessors, cross-platform support. Linux and Windows. Snort has three main use models: sniffer mode, read IP packets and prompt them in the console application. Packet logger mode, log all IP packets, inbound and outbound, that visit the network. NIDS, Network Intrusion Detection System, and NIPS, Network Intrusion Prevention System, modes, log/drop the packets that are deemed as malicious according to the user-defined rules. Snort can be deployed inline to stop these packets, as well. Snort has three primary uses: as a packet sniffer like dump, as a packet logger, which is useful for network traffic debugging, or it can be used as a full-blown network intrusion prevention system. Snort can be downloaded and configured for personal and business use alike. What is Snort? Snort is the foremost open-source intrusion prevention system, IPS, in the world. Snort IPS uses a series of rules that help define malicious network activity and uses those rules to find packets that match against them and generates alerts for users. Snort can be deployed inline to stop these packets, as well. Snort has three primary uses: as a packet sniffer like dump, as a packet logger, which is useful for network traffic debugging, or it can be used as a full-blown network intrusion prevention system. Snort can be downloaded and configured for personal and business use alike. Network Behaviors Analysis, NBA, sensors and programs examine network traffic to identify security threats that generate unusual traffic flows, such as distributed denial of service, DDoS, attacks, certain forms of malware and policy violations. Before getting your hands dirty, we should ensure our configuration file is valid. Here T is used for testing configuration, and C is identifying the configuration file, snort.conf. Note that it is possible to use an additional configuration file by pointing it with C. Once we use a configuration file, Snort got much more power. The configuration file is an all-in-one management file of the Snort. Rules, plugins, detection mechanisms, default actions and output settings are identified here. It is possible to have multiple configuration files for different purposes and cases but can only use one at runtime. Note that every time you start the Snort, it will automatically show the default banner and initial information about your setup. You can prevent this by using the queue parameter. This parameter provides information about your instance version. Let's run Snort in sniffer mode like dump. Snort has various flags capable of viewing various data about the packet it is ingesting. Sniffer mode parameters are explained in the table below. Let's start using each parameter and see the difference between them. Snort needs active traffic on your interface, so we need to generate traffic to see Snort in action. To do this, use the traffic generator script. Find this in the task exercise folder. Sniffing with parameter I start the Snort instance in verbose mode, v, and use the interface, I, f0, sudo snort v if0 in case you have only one interface, Snort uses it by default. The above example demonstrates to sniff on the interface named f0. Once you simulate the parameter v, you will notice it will automatically use the f0 interface and prompt it. Sniffing with parameter v start the Snort instance in verbose mode, v, sudo snort v now run the traffic generator script as sudo and start icmp/http traffic. Once the traffic is generated, Snort will start showing the packets in verbosity mode as follows. As you can see in the given output, verbosity mode provides dump-like output information. Once we interrupt the sniffing with Ctrl and C, it stops and summarizes the sniffed packets. Sniffing with parameter D. Start the Snort instance in dumping packet data mode. D, sudo snort D. Now run the traffic generator script as sudo and start icmp/http traffic. Once the traffic is generated, Snort will start showing the packets in verbosity mode as follows. As you can see in the given output, packet data payload mode covers the verbose mode and provides more data. Sniffing with parameter D. Start the Snort instance in dump, D, and link layer header grabbing, E, mode. Snort D. Now run the traffic generator script as sudo and start icmp/http traffic. Once the traffic is generated, Snort will start showing the packets in verbosity mode as follows. Sniffing with parameter X. Start the Snort instance in full packet dump mode, X, sudo snort X. Now run the traffic generator script as sudo and start icmp/http traffic. Once the traffic is generated, Snort will start showing the packets in verbosity mode as follows. Note that you can use the parameters both in combined and separated form as follows: Snort V, Snort VD, Snort D, Snort VDE, Snort X. Make sure you understand and practice each parameter with different types of traffic and discover your favorite combination. Let's run Snort in logger mode. You can use Snort as a sniffer and log the sniffed packets via logger mode. You only need to use the packet logger mode parameters, and Snort does the rest to accomplish this. Packet logger parameters are explained in the table below.
Logger mode, target log and alert output directory. Default output folder is, var, log, snort. The default action is 2 dump as tcp dump format in, var, log, snort.
Let's start using each parameter and see the difference between them. Snort needs active traffic on your interface, so we need to generate traffic to see Snort in action. Log file ownership. Before generating logs and investigating them, we must remember the Linux file ownership and permissions. No need to deep dive into user types and permissions. The fundamental file ownership rule: whoever creates a file becomes the owner of the corresponding file. Snort needs superuser, root, rights to sniff the traffic, so once you run the Snort with the sudo command, the root account will own the generated log files. Therefore you will need root rights to investigate the log files. There are two different approaches to investigate the generated log files. Elevation of privileges: you can elevate your privileges to examine the files. You can use the sudo command to execute your command as a superuser with the following command: sudo command. You can also elevate the session privileges and switch to the superuser account to examine the generated log files with the following command: sudo su. Changing the ownership of files / directories. You can also change the ownership of the file / folder to read it as your user. Sudo chown username file or sudo chown username r directory. The parameter helps recursively process the files and directories. Logging with parameter L. First, start the Snort instance in packet logger mode, sudo snort dev L. Now start icmp /http traffic with the traffic generator script. Once the traffic is generated, Snort will start showing the packets and log them in the target directory. You can configure the default output directory in snort.config file. However, you can use the L parameter to set a target directory. Identifying the default log directory is useful for continuous monitoring operations, and the L parameter is much more useful for testing purposes. The L part of the command creates the logs in the current directory. You will need to use this option to have the logs for each exercise in their folder. Once we look closer at the created folders, we can see that the logs are in ASCII and categorized format, so it is possible to read them without using a Snort instance. This is what it looks like in the folder view. In a nutshell, ASCII mode provides multiple files in human-readable format, so it is possible to read the logs easily by using a text editor. By contrast with ASCII format, binary format is not human-readable and requires analysis using Snort or an application like dump. Let's compare the ASCII format with the binary format by opening both of them in a text editor. The difference between the binary log file and the ASCII log file is shown below. Left side, binary format. Right side, ASCII format. Note that Snort can read and handle the binary-like output. Dump and Wireshark also can handle this log format. However, if you create logs with KASCII parameter, Snort will not read them. As you can see in the above output, Snort read and displayed the log file just like in the sniffer mode. Opening log file with dump. Note that Snort can read and handle the binary-like output. Dump and Wireshark also can handle this log format. However, if you create logs with KASCII parameter, Snort will not read them. As you can see in the above output, Snort read and displayed the log file just like in the sniffer mode. Opening log file with dump. Our parameter also allows users to filter the binary log files. You can filter the processed log to see specific packets with the parameter and Berkeley packet filters, BPF. The output will be the same as the above, but only packets with the chosen protocol will be shown. Additionally, you can specify the number of processes with the parameter n. The following command will process only the first 10 packets. Investigate the traffic with the default configuration file with ASCII mode.
What's going on, guys, and welcome back. In today's video we're gonna talk about Snort. And
Okay, I'm just gonna retype it. Sudo. Okay, next one, read the snort.log file, logs in the current directory, and navigate to this folder, which I'm in right now, and I displayed everything that's in this folder. So what is the source port used to connect 53? And that should be 3009, UDP 3009. So it's looking just for the 3009 there. There we go. So there's that one. Okay, next one, read the snort.log file. With snort, what is the IP ID of the 10th packet? Okay, so now we need to start snort one more time. So use the same command as last time. It should start it, and then you want to go over here, and I think I already have the command over here. Okay, I'm just going to retype it. Sudo. Alright, run this again. Run task 6, and it should run this file real quick. Alright, and then you want to stop the thing again. Stop the snort again. Okay, so after you're done capturing, the log file is actually going to be an exercise file. So we need to change directory to that one. Or a faster way to do it is to go to type in the command on the right side there. So we could just do dot slash exercise files test6 snort.log log file. Okay, dash in and then 10. The question is, what is the IP ID of the 10th packet? Okay, and because there's only 10 packets, this one's going to be the 10th one, and the ID is 49313. Alright guys, the next one says read the snort log, file with snort. What is the refer? As you guys can see, you go over here, it doesn't show it, but if you go to the hint, it says to use the -X. So we're going to type that in and see what comes up. Okay, so after looking at the notes, it looks like it's going to be right here. So let me go ahead and type that in real quick. Uh, sudo snort. See what comes up here. Okay, and then this is going to be the fourth packet right here. What we're looking for is kind of like a URL link. So that's going to be right here at the bottom right here. So it's going to be this, ethereal.com. Looks like I might have to type it out here, so let me type it out real quick. so let me go ahead and clear everything on here. Control L takes everything to the top here. So if we use what we did last time, then we go to the 8th packet here. It's going to be this one right here. Actually, this one right here. This one would be the 10th one, and this is the acknowledge number. Couldn't figure out how to copy and paste it, so I had to look it up. But if you go full screen, I think you can here. So let's try it. Yep, okay, that works. Okay, and then the last one is read the snort log file. What is the number of TCP port 80? So that's the total number. The previous command was only getting the top 10 results, so we'll go ahead and change that. We'll filter with port 80. So there's a total of 41 port 80 packets. So we'll go ahead and change that. We'll filter with port 80. So there's a total of 41 port 80 packets.
Snort in IDs /IPS mode capabilities of Snort are not limited to sniffing and logging the traffic. IDs /IPS mode helps you manage the traffic according to user-defined rules. Note that, IDs /IPS mode depends on the rules and configuration. Task 10 summarizes the essential paths, files and variables. Also, Task 3 covers configuration testing. Here, we need to understand the operating logic first, and then we will be going into rules in Task 9. Let's run Snort in IDs /IPS mode. NIDS mode parameters are explained in the table below. Let's start using each parameter and see the difference between them. Snort needs active traffic on your interface, so we need to generate traffic to see Snort in action. To do this, use the traffic generator script and sniff the traffic. Once you start running IDs /IPS mode, you need to use rules. As we mentioned earlier, we will use a predefined ICMP rule as an example. The defined rule will only generate alerts in any direction of ICMP packet activity. Let's start using each parameter and see the difference between them. Snort needs active traffic on your interface, so we need to generate traffic to see Snort in action. To do this, use the traffic generator script and sniff the traffic. Once you start running IDs/IPS mode, you need to use rules. As we mentioned earlier, we will use a predefined ICMP rule as an example. The defined rule will only generate alerts in any direction of ICMP packet activity. This rule is located in /etc/snort/rules/local.rules. Remember, in this module, we will focus only on the operating modes. The rules are covered in task 9 and 10. Snort will create an alert file if the traffic flow triggers an alert. One last note, once you start running IPS/IDs mode, the sniffing and logging mode will be semi-passive. However, you can activate the functions using the parameters discussed in previous tasks. I, V, D, E, X, L, K ASCII. If you don't remember the purpose of these commands, please revisit task 4. IDs/IPS mode with parameter C and T. Start the Snort instance and test the configuration file. Sudo snort c/etc/snort/snort.conft. This command will check your configuration file and prompt it if there is any misconfiguration in your current setting. You should be familiar with this command if you covered task 3. If you don't remember the output of this command, please revisit task 4. IDs/IPS mode with parameter N. Start the Snort instance and disable logging by running the following command: sudo snort c/etc/snort/snort.conf. N. Now run the traffic generator script as sudo and start ICMP/HTTP traffic. This command will disable logging mode. The rest of the other functions will still be available, if activated. The command line output will provide the information requested with the parameters. So, if you activate verbosity, V, or full packet dump, X, you will still have the output in the console, but there will be no logs in the log folder. IDs/IPS mode with parameter D. Start the Snort instance in background mode with the following command: sudo snort c/etc/snort/snort.conf. Now run the traffic generator script as sudo and start ICMP/HTTP traffic. Once the traffic is generated, Snort will start processing the packets and accomplish the given task with additional parameters. The command line output will provide the information requested with the parameters. So, if you activate verbosity, V, or full packet dump, X, with packet logger mode, L, you will still have the logs in the logs folder, but there will be no output in the console. Once you start the background mode and want to check the corresponding process, you can easily use the PS command as shown below. Note that daemon mode is mainly used to automate the Snort. This parameter is mainly used in scripts to start the Snort service in the background. It is not recommended to use this mode unless you have a working knowledge of Snort and stable configuration. IDs/IPS mode with parameter. Remember that there are several alert modes available in Snort. Console provides fast style alerts on the console screen. CMG provides basic header details with payload in hex and text format. Full alert mode, providing all possible information about the alert. Fast mode, shows the alert message, timestamp, source and destination P along with port numbers. None, disabling alerting. In this section, only the console and CMG parameters provide alert information in the console. It is impossible to identify the difference between the rest of the alert modes via terminal. Differences can be identified by looking at generated logs. At the end of this section, we will compare the full, fast and none modes. Remember that these parameters don't provide console output, so we will continue to identify the differences through log formats. IDs/IPS mode with parameter. A console mode provides fast style alerts on the console screen. Start the Snort instance in console alert mode, a console, with the following command: sudo snort c/etc/snort/snort.conf for console. Now run the traffic generator script as sudo and start icmp/http traffic. Once the traffic is generated, Snort will start generating alerts according to provided rules defined in the configuration file. DS/IPS mode with parameter. CMG mode provides basic header details with payload in hex and text format. Start the Snort instance in CMG alert mode, a CMG, with the following command: sudo snort c/etc/snort/snort.conf for CMG. Now run the traffic generator script as sudo and start icmp/http traffic. Once the traffic is generated, Snort will start generating alerts according to provided rules defined in the configuration file. Let's compare the console and CMG outputs before moving on to other alarm types. As you can see in the given outputs above, console mode provides basic header and rule information. CMG mode provides full packet details along with rule information. IDs/IPS mode with parameter. A fast mode provides alert messages, timestamps, and source and destination IP addresses. Remember, there is no console output in this mode. Start the Snort instance in fast alert mode, a fast, with the following command sudo snort c/etc/snort/snort/snort.conf for fast. Now run the traffic generator script as sudo and start icmp/http traffic. Once the traffic is generated, Snort will start generating alerts according to provided rules defined in the configuration file. As you can see in the given picture above, fast style alerts contain summary information on the action like direction and alert header. IDs/IPS mode with parameter a full alert mode provides all possible information about the alert. Remember, there is no console output in this mode. Start the Snort instance in full alert mode, a full, with the following command sudo snort c/etc/snort/snort.conf for full. Now run the traffic generator script as sudo and start icmp/http traffic. Once the traffic is generated, Snort will start generating alerts according to provided rules defined in the configuration file. Disable alerting. This mode doesn't create the alert file. However, it still logs the traffic and creates a log file in binary dump format. Remember, there is no console output in this mode. Start the Snort instance in non-alert mode, a none, with the following command sudo snort c/etc/snort/snort.conf for none. It is possible to run the Snort only with rules without a configuration file. Running the Snort in this mode will help you test the user-created rules. However, this mode will provide less performance. IPS mode and dropping packets. Snort IPS mode activated with QDAC off packet parameters. You can also activate this mode by editing snort.conf file. However, you don't need to edit snort.conf file in the scope of this room. Review the bonus task or Snort manual for further information on DAC and advanced configuration settings. QDAC off packet. Activate the data acquisition DAQ modules and use the off packet module to use Snort as an IPS IF0F1. As you can see in the picture above, Snort blocked the packets this time. We used the same rule with a different action, drop/reject. Remember, for the scope of this task, our point is the operating mode, not the rule. Investigate the traffic with the default configuration file. Execute the traffic generator script and choose Task 7 exercise. Wait until the traffic stops, then stop the Snort instance. Now analyze the output summary and answer the question. You can practice the rest of the parameters by using the traffic generator script. Let's investigate PCAPs with Snort. Capabilities of Snort are not limited to sniffing, logging and detecting / preventing the threats. PCAP read / investigate mode helps you work with PCAP files. Once you have a PCAP file and process it with Snort, you will receive default traffic statistics with alerts depending on your rules. Reading a PCAP without using any additional parameters we discussed before will only overview the packets and provide statistics about the file. In most cases, this is not very handy. We are investigating the PCAP with Snort to benefit from the rules and speed up our investigation process by using the known patterns of threats. Note that we are pretty close to starting to create rules. Therefore, you need to grasp the working mechanism of the Snort, learn the discussed parameters and begin combining the parameters for different purposes. PCAP mode parameters are explained in the table below. Investigating single PCAP with parameter are for test purposes. You can still test the default reading option with PCAP by using the following command: snort test.pcap. Let's investigate the PCAP with our configuration file and see what will happen. Sudo snort c/etc/snort/snort/snort.conf test.pcap console n10. If you don't remember the purpose of the parameters in the given command, please revisit previous tasks and come back again. Our ICMP rule got a hit. As you can see in the given output, Snort identified the traffic and prompted the alerts according to our rules A. Our ICMP rule got a hit. As you can see in the given output, Snort identified the traffic and prompted the alerts according to our rules A. Here is one point to notice: we've processed 2 PCAPs, and there are lots of alerts, so it is impossible to match the alerts with provided PCAPs without Snort's help. We need to separate the PCAP process to identify the source of the alerts. Investigating multiple PCAPs with parameter PCAP show. Let's investigate multiple PCAPs, distinguish each one, and see what will happen. Our ICMP rule got a hit. As you can see in the given output, Snort identified the traffic, distinguished each PCAP file and prompted the alerts according to our rules A. Now, use the attached VM and navigate to the task exercises /exercise files /task 8 folder to answer the questions. Keep reading the output. How many TCP segments are queued? Let's learn Snort rules. Understanding the Snort rule format is essential for any blue and purple teamer. The primary structure of the Snort rule is shown below. Each rule should have a type of action, protocol, source and destination IP, source and destination port and an option. Remember, Snort is in passive mode by default. So most of the time, you will use Snort as an IDs. You will need to start inline mode to turn on IPS mode. But before you start playing with inline mode, you should be familiar with Snort features and rules. The Snort rule structure is easy to understand but difficult to produce. You should be familiar with rule options and related details to create efficient rules. It is recommended to practice Snort rules and option details for different use cases. We will cover the basic rule structure in this room and help you take a step into Snort rules. You can always advance your rule creation skills with different rule options by practicing different use cases and studying rule option details in depth. We will focus on two actions, alert for IDs mode and reject for IPS mode. Rules cannot be processed without a header. Rule options are optional parts. However, it is almost impossible to detect sophisticated attacks without using the rule options. There are several actions for rules. Make sure you understand the functionality and test it before creating rules for live systems. The most common actions are listed below. Alert. Generate an alert and log the packet. Log the packet. Drop, block and log the packet. Reject, block the packet, log it and terminate the packet session. Protocol parameter identifies the type of the protocol that filtered for the rule. Note that Snort 2 supports only 4 protocols filters in the rules: IP, TCP, UDP and ICMP. However, you can detect the application flows using port numbers and options. For instance, if you want to detect FTP traffic, you cannot use the FTP keyword in the protocol field but filter the FTP traffic by investigating TCP traffic on port 21. IP and port numbers. These parameters identify the source and destination IP addresses and associated port numbers filtered for the rule. Alert ICMP 192.168.1.56 any MSG, ICMP packet found, SID, 100,001, Rev1 winking smiley. This rule will create alerts for each ICMP packet originating from the 192.168.1.56 IP address. Alert ICMP 192.168.1.0/24 any MSG, ICMP packet found, SID, 100,001, Rev1 winking smiley. This rule will create alerts for each ICMP packet originating from the 192.168.1.0/24 subnet. Alert ICMP 192.168.1.0/24 10.1.1.0/24 any MSG, ICMP packet found, SID, 100,001, Rev1 winking smiley. This rule will create alerts for each ICMP packet originating from the 192.168.1.0/24 and 10.1.1.04. Negation operator is used for excluding specific addresses and ports. Negation operator is indicated with alert ICMP 192.168.1.0/24 any MSG, ICMP packet found, SID, 100,001, Rev1 winking smiley. This rule will create alerts for each ICMP packet not originating from the 192.168.1.0/24 subnet. Alert TCP 192.168.1.0/2421 any MSG, ICMP packet found, SID, 100,001, Rev1 winking smiley. This rule will create alerts for each TCP packet originating from port 21. Direction. The direction operator indicates the traffic flow to be filtered by Snort. The left side of the rule shows the source, and the right side shows the destination. Dash, source to destination flow. Bidirectional flow. There are three main rule options in Snort: general rule options, fundamental rule options for Snort, payload rule options that help to investigate the payload data. These options are helpful to detect specific payload patterns. Non-payload rule options that focus on non-payload data. These options will help create specific patterns and identify network issues. General rule options. The message field is a basic prompt and quick identifier of the rule. Once the rule is triggered, the message filed will appear in the console or log. Usually, the message part is a one-liner that summarizes the event. Snort rule IDs, SID, come with a predefined scope, and each rule must have a SID in a proper format. There are three different scopes for SIDs shown below. Equals 1,000,000, rules created by user. Briefly, the rules we will create should have SID greater than 100.000.000. Another important point is, SIDs should not overlap, and each ID must be unique. Each rule can have additional information or reference to explain the purpose of the rule or threat pattern. That could be a common vulnerabilities and exposures, CVE, ID or external information. Having references for the rules will always help analysts during the alert and incident investigation. Snort rules can be modified and updated for performance and efficiency issues. Rev option help analysts to have the revision information of each rule. Therefore, it will be easy to understand rule improvements. Each rule has its unique rev number, and there is no auto backup feature on the rule history. Analysts should keep the rule history themselves. Rev option is only an indicator of how many times the rule had revisions. Alert any MSG, ICMP packet found, SID, 100,001, reference CVEC, payload data. It matches specific payload data by ASCII, HEX or both. It is possible to use this option multiple times in a single rule. However, the more you create specific pattern match features, the more it takes time to investigate a packet. Following rules will create an alert for each HTTP packet containing the keyword GET. This rule option is case sensitive. Prioritize content search to speed up the payload search operation. By default, Snort uses the biggest content and evaluates it against the rules. Fast_pattern option helps you select the initial packet match with the specific value for further investigation. This option always works case insensitive and can be used once per rule. Note that this option is required when using multiple content options. The following rule has two content options, and the fast_pattern option tells to Snort to use the first content option, in this case, get, for the initial packet match. Non-payload detection rule options. There are rule options that focus on non-payload data. These options will help create specific patterns and identify network issues. Remember, once you create a rule, it is a local rule and should be in your local.rules file. This file is located under /etc/snort/rules/local.rules. A quick reminder on how to edit your local rules is shown below. Note that there are some default rules activated with Snort instance. These rules are deactivated to manage your rules and improve your exercise experience. For further information, please refer to the Task 10 or Snort manual. By this point, we covered the primary structure of the Snort rules. Understanding and practicing the fundamentals is suggested before creating advanced rules and using additional options. Well, we have covered the fundamentals of the Snort rules. Now, use the attached VM and navigate to the task exercises/exercise files/task 9 folder to answer the questions. Note that you can use the following command to create the logs in the current directory, L.
And then change the rule on here. So let me do that real quick and let me find out which one it is. Okay, now you got your local rules and then you're also your peak. Snort rule structure. Alright guys, so in task 9 it says to write a rule filter for IP ID 35369 and then run it against the given PCAP file. And what is the request name of the detected packet? So basically I think it's just asking that we have to copy this. And then change the rule on here. So let me do that real quick and let me find out which one it is. Okay, now you got your local rules and then you're also your PCAP file. So I'm just gonna cat my local rules. rules just to see if it changed in that file. Okay, nothing changed, so we need to change that. So the one they told you to use on TryHackMe is gedit. So we'll go ahead and do that, and then open rules. Okay, I'm actually gonna open the other one and copy and paste it in here, so I don't have to type it all out. Okay, so copy all that one. Leave that, and then we'll edit this folder's local rule right here. See if it shows. Okay, so after looking up that one, there is no results for that one basically, so we're gonna have to change the rules here. Alright guys, so my mic cut out during the middle of this recording, so I'm recording this after the fact, but I accidentally left the SID as a 35369. You don't have to leave it like that, you should have just left it alone at the 100001. But it's fine, it didn't really affect anything. So for this first question, you basically just have to leave it as the ICMP. That'll give you the right answer. And then once you get the alert, you have to cat it. So cat alert, and you get the timestamp request. So just type that in. That'll give you the answer for the first one. The next one is going to be the flags. You really just have to change the message, and you have to delete the ID. For the IP. And then you also have to change it to TCP, as you guys can see. It has to be under TCP for you to get the result.
Clear the previous log and alarm files and deactivate / comment out the old rule. Write a rule to filter packets with push-ACK flags and run it against the given cat file. What is the number of detected packets?
But it's asking for two different flags, the P and the A. So just put them right next to each other. All you have to do is take out the S and put a PA there, and then run the same command, and then it'll give you.
Clear the previous log and alarm files and deactivate / comment out the old rule. Create a rule to filter packets with the same source and destination IP and run it against the given pcat file. What is the number of detected packets?
See all the alerts right there. It looks like the answer is 216. Okay, and then the next one, you have to find the same IP and destination IP. You basically just have to change the message and then add a different perimeter. You can use the same IP perimeter that makes sure that the source and destination IP are the same. I changed the message to same IP. And then I think I leave the TCP alone. I think I ended up looking at the notes. I think you need to use TCP and UDP. I'll probably be showing that here in a second. Yeah, here I switch it. You can make two rows, two different alerts, and have one as TCP, one as UDP, and it'll give you the answer is 10. I just did them separate and added them together. The first one TCP got 3, this one got 7, so obviously that's going to be
Case example, an analyst modified an existing rule successfully. Which rule option must the analyst change after the implementation?
be 10. Submit that, and then the last one, it just shows up in the notes above. It should be the revisions or REV. Should type that in here in a second, hopefully. Okay, yep, there it is. It's rev, and then after 9, you got
Points to remember main components of Snort packet decoder, packet collector component of Snort. It collects and prepares the packets for pre-processing. Preprocessors, a component that arranges and modifies the packets for the detection engine. Detection engine, the primary component that process, dissect and analyze the packets by applying the rules. Logging and alerting, log and alert generation component. Outputs and plugins, output integration modules, i.e. alerts to syslog/mysql, and additional plugin, rule management detection plugins, support is done with this component. There are 3 types of rules available for Snort community rules. Free rules A under the GPL v2 publicly accessible, no need for registration. Registered rules, free rules A, requires registration. This rules A contains subscriber rules with 30 days delay. Subscriber rules, paid rules A, requires subscription. This rules A is the main rules A and is updated twice a week, Tuesdays and Thursdays. You can download and read more on the rules here. Note, once you install Snort 2, it automatically creates the required directories and files. However, if you want to use the community or the paid rules, you need to indicate each rule in the snort.conf file. Since it is a long, all-in-one configuration file, editing it without causing misconfiguration is troublesome for some users. That is why Snort has several rule updating modules and integration tools. To sum up, never replace your configured Snort configuration files. You must edit your configuration files manually or update your rules with additional tools and modules to not face any fail/crash or lack of feature. Let's start with overviewing the main configuration file, snort.conf, sudo git/etc/snort/snort.conf. Navigate to the step #1, set the network variables section. This section manages the scope of the detection and rule paths. Navigate to the step #2, configure the decoder section. In this section, you manage the IPS mode of Snort. The single node installation model IPS model works best with off-packet mode. You can enable this mode and run Snort in IPS. Data acquisition modules, DAQ, are specific libraries used for packet I/O, bringing flexibility to process packets. It is possible to select DAQ type and mode for different purposes. There are 6 DAQ modules available in Snort: PCAP, default mode, known as sniffer mode; off-packet, inline mode, known as IPS mode; IPC, inline mode on Linux by using netfilter. It replaces the snort_inline patch. NFQ, inline mode on Linux. IPF, inline on OpenBSD and FreeBSD by using divert sockets, with the PF and IPF firewalls. Dump, testing mode of inline and normalization. The most popular modes are the default, PCAP, and inline/IPS, off-packet. Navigate to the step #6, configure output plugins section. This section manages the outputs of the IDs/IPS actions, such as logging and alerting format details. The default action prompts everything in the console application, so configuring this part will help you use the Snort more efficiently. Navigate to the step #7, customize your rules A section. In this room, we covered Snort, what it is, how it operates, and how to create and use the rules to investigate threats. Understanding and practicing the fundamentals is crucial before creating advanced rules and using additional options. Do not create complex rules at once, Try to add options step by step to notice possible syntax errors or any other problem easily. Do not reinvent the wheel, use it or modify / enhance it if there is a smooth rule. Take a backup of the configuration files before making any change. Never delete a rule that works properly. Comment it if you don't need it. Test newly created rules before migrating them to production. Now, we invite you to complete the Snort Challenge Room. Snort Challenge, live attacks. A great way to quickly recall Snort rules and commands is to download and refer to the TryHackMe Snort cheat sheet.